Hello, I am Lowell Dillon, and this is my interview with Larry Nance Jr. Larry is an NBA player who has played for the Lakers, the Cavaliers, the Pelicans, and the Hawks. He was diagnosed with Crohn's disease at age 16. Larry has used his platform to advocate for IBD awareness. He started Athletes vs. Crohn's, a foundation which supports and inspires young people to pursue their goals. As a huge basketball fan myself, I was thrilled to talk to Larry about all things Crohn's and basketball, so please enjoy. My name is Lowell Dillon. I'm here interviewing Larry Nance Jr., who is a basketball player in the NBA who has Crohn's disease. Larry, hello. How are you today?
What's going on, man? I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, it's so good to talk to you. I'm really excited to get into it. I met you once when I think I was 16 or 17 at Cedars. You were getting a Remicade infusion, and you had the IV in, you were getting it, and you were seeing pediatric patients who were coming in and saying hi to you. Uh,
Oh, that's awesome.
Generously meeting us, so thank you for that. I
Oh, of course, man. That's part of everything that I like to do is just trying to, let people see that, even if we're on run around on a basketball court, I still got to sit down every 4.5 weeks for my which I'm still on Remicade. So
Yeah.
not much changed.
Okay, yeah. All right, well, I guess I want to start with can you tell us when you were diagnosed and sort of what your introduction to the world of IBD was?
Yeah, of course. So a little bit of background on my family first. The Nance family is a family of giants, right? Like I'll leave myself last. My brother right now is 6'11". My dad's 6'11". My mom's 6'2". My sister's 6'5". So like we are head and shoulders above everybody. Always have been, always will be, in terms of height. And so growing up, I was in the back of class pictures and always looking like teachers, just saying, Larry's always taller than the rest of the class. And then around sixth, seventh, eighth grade, sixth, seventh grade, really, I started, not growing as much, not gaining as much weight, starting to really, man, I don't have enough energy to play baseball this year. Like, oh man, track, I can't really play that this year. I'm tired, my stomach's hurting. Seventh grade, man, soccer. I love soccer. I love it. It's my favorite sport to this day. Man, mom and dad, I don't think I'm going to play it this year. Um, just kind of tired. They thought I was going through normal high school kid stuff,
Mhm.
um, but my freshman year when I had a conversation with my mom about like, hey, I think I'm going to quit basketball. I'm just tired. I'd come home from school and sit in the chair and just kind of fall asleep for hours after doing my homework. So I was just lacking energy. My stomach was hurting. I started to miss class because I'd spend so much time in the bathroom. Um, but that freshman year, I started getting, my mom started taking notice and started getting me some tests, and she thought I was anemic. All the pokes and prods and cameras everywhere. And when I was 16, I got diagnosed with Crohn's. Um, and at I was 5'10", 120 pounds when I was diagnosed. And here I am at 6'8", 250. So
Yeah.
little bit of a turnaround.
Yeah. Did you have, that's interesting. Did you have like a mini plateau there where you sort of stopped growing a little bit and then you had another big spurt? Or like,
When I say, so I was diagnosed at 5'10", I didn't have a single plateau. Once I got diagnosed, that allowed me to grow. So like I went from
oh,
5'10" to I probably stopped growing my sophomore, junior year of college. So I went from 5'10" to 6'8" in about 4 years.
okay.
And your knees don't love that.
Yeah, can
Yeah.
imagine.
Your knees don't love that.
Interesting. Were you put on Remicade right away, or what was that like? Um,
No, right away. Right away. I was at the Cleveland Clinic and my doctor, told us about the diagnosis, met with me and my parents, and then described, that was 17 years ago. So it was, there were two options. You were either going to be put on Remicade or a steroid called prednisone. That was it. And, my parents thankfully chose Remicade. They thought it have the ability to give me the best outlook on life, and thankfully it did. I'm 17 years into it and still going strong, so I'm very thankful for that.
how often do you have to get the infusion?
So out of season, I get my infusion about every 4.5 to 5 weeks. In season, definitely every 4.5, pretty strictly. Burning through a lot while the season's going on.
Is it tough to get? Do you do it in the same place all like traveling wise?
So it's actually really nice. That's a good question. We schedule them before the season. When the schedule comes out, I'll go get in contact with one of my nurses and we'll schedule out like I'm home this week, I'm home this week, I'm home this week. And so I'm actually fortunate enough to be able to have a nurse come to my house and
Oh, okay.
administer the infusion. So it matches my schedule and we're able to do it
That's
kind of
good.
on the fly.
Yeah, that's good. Um, and then what else do you do like in terms of diet? Are you on a specific diet or are there just sort of things you watch and.
Nothing specific, but for me again, I eat super clean. So for me, it's a lot of it's going to sound super bland. A lot of chicken, a lot of rice, a lot of stay away from raw vegetables, of course. No nuts, no seeds, no popcorn. No spicy foods. All the do's and don'ts
Same.
of IBD. Of course,
Yeah.
I follow that, but on top of that, it's more so out of season. It's just maintaining weight. So
Mhm.
it's of course
Is that a
less
problem for you? Like,
out of season. Yeah, no,
okay.
it's got I for me maintaining weight is hard out of season. I'll drop weight real fast.
Yeah.
And so that's why I got to stay lifting in the weight room and stay kind of trying to pack the calories even out of
Yeah.
season. In season it's easy, you burn so much, you need a lot.
Okay.
Out of season it's harder to stay on top of, but
Yeah.
something
I
you
know. I
got
mean,
to.
I know for me, I lose weight very, very quickly. Like how much I weigh in a day can shift like a massive amount.
Isn't it crazy? You have
Um,
like a bad day and get on the scale, it's like 7 pounds.
it's
What?
wild.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. When you were sort of rising up through you went to Wyoming, you're drafted, NBA player. It sounds like blah blah blah, but it's not blah blah blah. But I'm blah blah blahing through
it's
that bit
it's
of
it's
it.
no big deal. It's no big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have specific struggles sort of when you were coming up that you sort of had to overcome in terms of like mindset, like I got, like you're hampered a bit or, because a normal person assuming a basketball player on their way to the NBA is just thinking about the NBA, getting the NBA. That's all you're doing. I'm playing basketball, I'm getting the NBA. Like I was when I was 10 until I gave up on that dream.
Yeah, some of us are
Um,
crazy enough to never lose that dream.
yeah, but so with having Crohn's, you got that on your mind. So I assume that's going to weigh pretty heavy.
No, sure. It definitely took a toll on me, but I was so thankful for the diagnosis, really.
Hmm.
um, because I was so sick. I was missing school, missing class, missing about to quit basketball. So I wasn't an athlete.
Hmm.
It's not like, man, I was this world class athlete and then Crohn's took me out of it. Like, no, I wasn't a great athlete. And then Crohn's or like getting diagnosed with Crohn's and getting treatment for it is what allowed me to
Right.
become that. So um, yeah, I mean, I never viewed it as it never hampered me, never burdened me. It was always like, man, thank goodness I got diagnosed because what that used to be was terrible.
Yeah. What do you bring?
So
So
no, for me, I tend to wear it like a badge of honor. Like it's
yeah.
something I'm proud of. I since I've come in, there's been another guy in the NBA that has Crohn's. There's just been it's been a really cool community that I've gotten to see kind of form within professional sports,
Yeah.
of us athletes persevering and making it through.
Yeah, for sure. I know when I was growing up, well, I guess I'm really only a couple years younger than you, but when there was David Gerard was my guy, quarterback for the
Was
Jaguars.
he your guy?
He had Crohn's, or
No, you don't have to tell me that. David Garrard is my favorite
oh,
athlete ever,
oh,
ever, ever,
okay. So
ever.
you
Yeah.
probably know a lot more about it than I do then.
No,
Um,
no, I wouldn't say that.
but
I'm the same as you. Like he was when I got diagnosed, Googled immediately,
okay,
and
yeah,
just went to go see who I knew that if I knew anybody, and he was the only one I knew from
yeah,
Madden. So
yeah.
that dude has been my Superman forever.
Yeah, no, I know, and it's and for me too, looking up to athletes in particular with IBD, being able to do, these incredible athletic feats was really important to me growing up even. Yeah, now, now you're in that position of being someone that I think a lot of people with IBD look up to and see doing these doing some of these things, which is incredible. So
No, I don't take that lightly. That I mean that is that's a dream come true, man. That's really if that's the culmination of my whole career, I'll be thrilled with it.
yeah, so you have this foundation, Athletes versus Crohn's, which you've been involved with for a few years actually since you were diagnosed. What prompted you to get into the game of advocacy?
So it's funny, we just had that had the connection over David Garrard, and he's actually the one that made
Oh,
me
really?
really interested in getting, trying to, put my story out and be a beacon of light for somebody, hopefully. My junior year of college, I got to be pretty good at basketball and put an article out and just about how, yeah, hey, this college athlete's thriving with Crohn's, how cool, and I mentioned his name, and he actually reached out to me. Um, Reached out, and so when we talked to each other, he just said he thought it was so cool that I gave him credit, and that was the exact reason why he wanted to put his story out there, and he just kind of challenged me to be the next him, and that's something I'm still trying to be. That's something I'll try to be. I'll try to be until the end of time.
Yeah.
That dude, um, was huge for me. So he's the reason why I wanted to get more involved, but specifically with Athletes versus Crohn's and Noah and the Weber family. My sophomore year in the NBA, I just happened to get a DM from this kid in New York, direct message like, hey, you're an inspiration. Said all the things that I just maybe needed to hear at the time, and just you're, I just you really helped me. Your story helped me get through a lot. I appreciate you, and yada yada yada. It was really nice, and it's 9 years ago now. But I met up with him and his dad out in Brooklyn when we played the Nets, and then again when we played the Knicks, and they proposed the idea of Athletes versus Crohn's and just kind of trying to do right, give back, and use our platform as we can to help benefit the next generation of athletes with IBD. Um, and again, we're going on 9 years now, and I mean, gosh, I'd have to look at the numbers, but I think we're well into seven figures plus raised and scholarships given and research funded and really proud of the work we do. So the whole Weber family and Noah are just they're they might as well that they're Nance's as well. We're Weber's. That's family to me. So um, it's a true family foundation, and I'm just so proud of it.
Connecting you here has worked with a bit with you guys in the past, and it's awesome what Noah and you guys are doing there. So yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Um,
I'd like to ask you, what made you want to get
please.
involved?
Well, I myself was diagnosed with Crohn's when I was two.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom started this charity Connecting to Cure when I was 9 or 10. And for me, it was less of a this is just a thing in my life because I was diagnosed so young.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a constant thing, and with my mom having so many connections and being involved in the community, I guess I felt like having had IBD now for 23-ish years, might have something to offer, I guess, and help people and try to,
Right.
just talking about it because talking is really what helps the most. I have found is just talking to other people who have gone through the same experiences of you and have come out the other side and are the better for it a lot of the time, I
It's
find.
building a community, man.
Yeah.
Like getting to hear your story and you hearing mine and seeing like, yeah, we're both fine, but man, that was tough. Just and it is cool because what we found is exactly the same as you. Like people just want to talk about it, get in a room with shared experiences and like, hey, man, I could like I couldn't tell anybody else about that because it's hard to talk about, but you get it. It's just
Yeah, exactly.
it is really cool to give people like a platform and a community to be heard and seen, amongst peers. None of us chose to be here, but all we can do is make the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And got it. The only way to get through it is together. Is you can't do it alone. You
Right.
can't.
No, you're right.
What advice would you want to give to a younger person who's been diagnosed with IBD who wants to pursue advocacy?
It's funny. We just you ask these questions, and it's funny. It's a great lead in because we just talked about the question before, and the biggest piece of advice that I would give is community. Seek community, seek somebody else that you can message or say to, like, man, I just had the you know no pun intended, I had a crap day. You know what I mean? Like, just be able to reach out to and feel a sense of like, hey, they this person knows what I mean when I say, it's a tough one, or whatever it is, or you can go to my appointments with me. But like you said, you can't battle this alone. It's a disease that's lifelong, and that is bigger than any one of us. It takes a community to beat it. It takes a community to fend it off, and that would be the first step for me, is to reach out to Connecting to Cure, reach out to AVC, reach out to CCFA, reach out to some of these foundations that do exist. And if you'd like to join up with one of us, great. If you'd like to branch off and find your own, look, as long as money's going to the research and we're all striving for a cure, that's all that matters. And you've got people that care, a community that cares, and I would just suggest that you reach out to us, because we again, like I said, we care, we've been through it, and we'll happily hear you.
Yeah, and sometimes just hearing, I mean, for me, talking to someone who understands, but just hearing, laying out what's going on and then just hearing, that really sucks. I understand.
Yeah.
Like, that really helps.
No, it does,
Yeah,
because like for us, again, like you said, you were diagnosed with two. That is just life. That's all you've known. For me, it's been 16, 17 years. So like, or 19 now, 20 if you're including symptoms. So it's like, you know, uh, just about normal now. It's everyday thing. So every now and again, telling somebody about it and them going like, "Dang, how do you do that every day?" It's
yeah,
like, yeah, yeah. I am. I've been dealing with
yeah,
this for a while by myself. I'm pretty good.
yeah.
Um, so again, it does just help to have somebody to talk to, even just bounce things off of.
You got any tips for the next NBA player with IBD coming up through the ranks who's gonna I don't know, any NBA insider Crohn's tips? I don't know.
No, I would say for
Yeah.
any young athlete, really, especially, of course, being diagnosed with Crohn's, IBD, like throughout my path, from the time I was diagnosed, the first thing I've done is share it with my coaches. Share it like, hey, look, this is what I've got. Some days are going to be harder than others. There's nothing I can do about it. So before you ask, no,
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do about it. It's not sleep or food, or just is what it is. And they've always been super understanding, and
Have you gotten
very.
Sorry,
I'm
have you
sorry.
have you had to like explain like to
Oh
a
yeah,
to a
absolutely.
larger extent? Yeah.
Absolutely. More so in college.
Okay.
More so in college when I'm with them every single day. It's like,
Sure,
yeah,
yeah.
like what's going on with Larry? He missed practice the last
Yeah.
4 days. Like, well, yeah, Larry went and
It's
have
okay.
popcorn at the movies. Like, he can't do that. But no, I've always been upfront and honest with, like, hey, this is what I've got. Some days it's going to be good. Some days it's not. Um, you just got to bear with me. And for the most part, guys on the team, coaching staff has been great, super forgiving, very compassionate and understanding. And it's always made my um, it made me feel way more accepted. And I don't know if tolerated is the word, but it's never felt like I was on the outside because of it. So
Yeah.
always sharing and being open and honest with what's going on has been the best route for me. And I couldn't recommend it any higher.
Yeah, I think being open with people, the way to sort of burden yourself more with it is to not share, is to hold it all in,
Right.
to some degree. So I think being open with it to the people you need to be is important.
Right. And again, you never know who you're going to, you just never know who's, it's a silent disease. You'd never know I had it.
Yeah,
You'd never know you have it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You'd never know. And so sharing could be the first step to somebody saying, me too. Or
yeah,
like, oh, my brother has that. Or, oh, my dad had.
yeah.
I was,
That happens all the time.
it happens all the time. I was dating my girlfriend, now wife, for well over a year before I had shared with her that I have Crohn's. And sure enough, her dad has it too.
Oh,
And it's just like the community that you can build just by being open and honest with people is very empowering. And that's if you could take away one thing from everything that I've said is community, community, community. Find people that have shared your journey and share your story with them.
what advice would you give your younger self being diagnosed at 16? Is there anything you would, well, not necessarily do differently, just want to tell yourself being diagnosed with Crohn's, or I guess maybe even tell yourself before that, because you were, sick and struggling before that, and that was sort of a reprieve after you got on medication. So
Right.
maybe, yeah,
So if I would have known what I know now before the journey, before this whole journey, what would I have sold?
yeah,
I think the biggest thing I would have said is be patient. Be
mhm,
patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. Man, this is not going to be easy. There's going to be good days, bad days. Some days you're going to feel like, for me, I want to play ball. Some days you're going to feel like playing ball and the world, everything's going to be great. Other days you're going to wake up and, man, I am not going to that gym today. Those are the days you got to win. Those are the days you got to win. When everything's easy, sure, everything's easy. It's called easy for a reason. But those days where they just require a little bit more. Those weeks that, man, I knew I ate a piece of popcorn. Like, you know what I mean? Like when things happen, be patient. You know, you didn't choose to be here. I didn't choose to be here. It's the hand we got dealt, and being hard on ourselves for something that we can't control is um, easy to say, harder to do. Um,
absolutely.
but just patience. Have patience with yourself.
All right. I know you played with Kobe his last year in the league, and I know you went to a finals with LeBron in Cleveland. I was just wondering what you learned from each of them in terms of obviously how they approach the game, but how they approach life, being just, incredibly successful, influential people at the top of their game all the time. Yeah, what did you pick up from them?
Oh man. Honestly, like they're just such different people. They're such different people. Cole was fierce, man. He was locked in. He taught me a lot about his the mental side of things. Like if to him it wasn't a game. It was life. Basketball is life, and you do basketball how you do everything else in life. So he was up at 8 a.m. at practice, working out, working out, working out, 6 a.m. working out like every day. And it was just like a routine for him because for him, he attacked basketball, how he attacked life. And it was just relentless in his pursuit of what he wanted. And I think that's what made him so successful. Um, and so for him, the biggest thing I would say the biggest bit of advice he gave me was that, you know, this is our career. This is it. You've got hopefully 10, hopefully 12, hopefully 15-year window to do it. We've put our entire lives to this, and it's culminating to this moment of time, and you got to make the most of it. So why don't cheat yourself here? Whereas Bron is fun loving. Like that dude, he just wants to have fun. He's a big kid. And so for him, it was more about the joy. Really just enjoy what you do, and every day will be easy to come in. So he's at practice laughing and joking and dunking and working. Don't get me wrong, he's the best player in the world. He works hard, just about harder than anybody else. But his message was really about, man, we got to make this fun. You got to wake up in the morning happy to come in here. This has got to be a fun building, a job that we enjoy doing, and something that we want to make the most of. So, um, and I've really taken to that,
Yeah.
live this experience and have fun with it. So, I
That's
think there's
it.
a healthy balance there of trying to take the two of them, like work. You got
Yeah,
to work
I was gonna
hard. This
say
is a
it's
You got to
like
work hard, but at the same time, after you work hard,
yeah. Well, it's funny too because they're both obviously very successful. So it's like, it shows that you can do it your own way. You got
yeah,
to figure out
absolutely.
what works for you yeah, that works for them. Yeah.
And it's funny you say that. I think, find out what works for you. Like that's one of the biggest things I've learned with this whole, with my whole process with IBD as well, is like meeting people and hearing stories. Is It's whatever works for you.
Yeah.
What works for me isn't going to work for you. What works for you isn't going to work for me. I can eat things that you can't eat, and we can go around the world and around the room.
I
It's
can do
just so
things that LeBron
individualized.
can't do.
That's why. And it's so you got to listen to people. You got to hear people out to maybe learn. I've learned some things that I probably shouldn't do just by asking people, and possibly save myself from a flare up. So
Mhm. Yeah.
um, it just I think those messages both relate to basketball and life, and so I've been ever thankful for those two for impacting my life the way they have.
You've been in the NBA for 10 years now, which is a decade, quite a long time.
A decade.
And more to come, I'm sure. What are some of the ways you sort of keep yourself uh, just fit, and what's the key to the longevity there in your career?
Yeah, I mean that's something I'm pretty proud of. 10 years in the NBA is um something I'm really proud of. It's something that I set out to do, and my dad played 13, so if I can get 13 in one day, that's the goal. But no, it's the key to staying in and staying relevant is really about always evolving. I got drafted as an undersized power forward, like in the David West, Paul Millsap era of like undersized power forwards that just kind of got nice touch, a little skilled, can do a little bit of everything. And then I played games in the finals at the center position. I started at center in Cleveland. The next few years, I started at three. Then I went back to the four, and now I'm currently back at the five. So um, being able to play multiple positions is huge versatility, always adding to your game. I added the jump shot this past year and always been able to do just about everything else. So now it's, as long as you're growing, continuously growing, the league's got to stay ready for you. And that's kind of how I think of it, is like, staying ready for the league is my career. Staying in shape is easy. Making sure I'm eating right that's easy. But trying to make sure the league is ready for me. I'm trying to keep them on their toes. Hey, I had the shot. Hey, I had this. Hey, I had that. Um, is kind of how I like to think of it, and it's something that never ends. It never ends. There's always something new in the league, and there's always a new way to evolve and adapt to it. So until I'm out, which hopefully won't be for a little while, I'm always adapting, and it's a process every day.
Yeah, I know for a big man too, who
Yeah.
usually have, shorter careers, it's very, very rare for anyone almost to have as long a career as that. So it's really special.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, a couple of basketball questions for you. Who's your favorite player of all time?
Of all time, without saying my dad, my favorite player of all time, it's got to be LeBron James.
Really?
I'm from Akron, Ohio. So
Who's your favorite player uh, from outside of the state of Ohio? All time.
outside of the state of
Yeah.
Ohio, right now I'm really enjoying watching Nikola Jokic. That dude, he's the best player in the world by a long shot.
So fun to watch. Yeah, for sure. Okay, what was your favorite team growing up?
My favorite team growing up was the Cavs. My dad played for the Cavs, so I'm a Cav at heart.
That adds up because you're from Akron. Let's see. What's your favorite play? Just
My
in general.
favorite play.
No, like long explanation, just like the name of it.
For me, I want to catch a lob. Throw me a lob.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you an alley oop is for me. I'm
Okay.
athletic. That's what I do. So throw it up there, and I'm coming down with it.
Who's your favorite referee in the NBA right now?
My favorite ref in the NBA. Probably he'd go a guy by the name of Tony Brothers. He it's always fun when you can have actual banter with the refs and they don't
Yeah.
get too sensitive. So Tony, if you talk smack to him, he'll give it right back, and I enjoy that.
All right. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Shark Tale. Shark Tale, the DreamWorks. Growing up, that was my favorite
Okay.
movie, and
Yeah.
it still is. I can't get
Yeah.
enough of that one.
All right. Well, Larry, thank you so much for your time today. This was really, really awesome.
Of course, thanks for
Thank
having me.
you. And yeah, we really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll give you the final word on ABC.
Yes, yes. Athletes versus Crohn's. First of all, thank you for having me. Second, any young athlete, whether you're playing football, baseball, volleyball, basketball, or even just enjoy the sporting world. Athletes versus Crohn's could be for you. We fundraise, we do experiences, we do a lot, and it's something I'm very proud of. So check out our site. It's very easy to find athletes versus Crohn's and colitis, of course, but it's easier to say one. Um, you can check it out on the web. We've got a website. We've got a whole bunch of things. If you feel like checking us out, do so. And I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me again.
All right. Thanks so much.